When we think about living in the wine country in Northern California, the town of Napa usually is the first town to pop up. But I'm here to show you why you should consider moving to Healdsburg instead in Sonoma County. So if you're heading this way, don't miss out on all the reasons I'll give to you on why Healdsburg is the best choice for you and your family. Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is David and I'm your local real estate specialist in Sonoma County, California. I've helped over 40 families buy and sell their homes, and I want to help you too. First, I want to start explaining to you why people choose to live in Napa. I'll show you some clients' experiences, why they picked a place in that county, and how they're feeling about that decision so far. So I had a client who was originally looking for a vacation rental property, which naturally drew them to Sonoma County, not to Napa County, because in Napa County, it's impossible to get a permit to vacation rent a home as a new buyer. In Sonoma County, the most profitable vacation rental areas are around Healdsburg and around Sonoma, although these clients were less focused on the income and more focused on finding a home that they could enjoy for themselves. In our early conversations, it became clear that he in particular enjoyed the much celebrated Napa wines, and so he envisaged himself buying a place where he'd go for the weekend and enjoy the wines of Napa Valley. Another big factor for them was the travel time it would take for them to get there. They lived in Walnut Creek, and while their youngest child was about to go to college, the difference between a 45-minute drive to Napa versus a 90-minute drive to Healdsburg was a big deal for them. They eventually decided to buy a home in a great neighborhood on the northwest side of Napa town. Of course, they've no option to rent it out for less than 30 days, but they did have plans to remodel it and then rent it out for 1, 2, or 3 months as a mid-term rental once it was finished. As things stand, they actually got in a long-term tenant while they figure out their plans for the home. But I do know they're wondering if they made the right decision, because they've realized that now they have no children at home, the journey time is less important than it was when they were making the original decision. And while they love the Napa wines, they've also realized that actually they can be in Sonoma in 30 minutes. So two of their big criteria now seem less important than they did at the time. I mean, time will tell if they made the right long-term decision, but it'd be interesting to talk to them in a year or two. One of the big differences between Napa and Sonoma is the relative cachet of the two places. I mean, Napa is definitely for people who like the fact that Napa has the reputation when it comes to Northern California wine country. As such, it tends to attract people who they want the glitz and the glamour compared to maybe the more laid-back lifestyle of Sonoma County, where it's less about what you look like or how much money you have. Some very good friends of mine actually bought a place in Healdsburg a number of years ago, but they very nearly bought somewhere in Napa because they were looking to buy a vineyard property and start their own wine label. Of course, the obvious place to start a wine brand is Napa Valley. They actually got as far as making an offer on a place on Silverado Trail with some old vines on it, but it didn't work out for one reason or another. I mean, fast forward 6 years, they just launched their wine brand on Dry Creek Road in Healdsburg, having replanted their entire vineyard. I mean, the irony is that they sell a lot of their Cabernet Sauvignon grapes to a Napa winery because they command a higher price than if they were to sell the same grapes to a Sonoma winery. I mean, therein lies the irony. A lot of people go to Napa because the wines are better, but are they really? More wineries than you think actually use Sonoma fruit. I mean, it is quite funny. Napa wines have definitely got a better reputation, but then we've got somewhere like Aperture, which is based in Healdsburg, which has just achieved the status of selling the first ever $1 million bottle of wine. And Verite, another Healdsburg winery, has produced 17 100-point wines. So Sonoma can definitely compete for sure. In hindsight, my friends are so clearly not Napa people. They're very down to earth, not at all image conscious. And while they're both very successful business people, they've got no interest in the lifestyle that some people in their position would adopt. Even though Napa is a great town to live in, Healdsburg continues to grow year after year. And it's not just for its growing reputation as the food and wine capital of Sonoma County. Here's why many people are choosing to live in Healdsburg rather than choosing somewhere in Napa. I know when we were originally looking for a second home, when we lived in Mill Valley, Glen Ellen was very high on our list because it was a nice small town, an easy drive from where we lived, and it had Jack London Park on its doorstep, which checked the boxes for outdoor hiking and running. That being said, we started going to Healdsburg with our bikes and enjoyed the loop around Dry Creek Valley, up Dry Creek and down West Dry Creek as an easy way to spend a day cycling and tasting wine in beautiful surroundings. At the same time, we saw lots of friends and colleagues choosing Healdsburg for a variety of reasons. So why do people choose Healdsburg? Let's start with location. I mean, there's no question that the accessibility of Napa to the Bay Area is a big draw. But the reality is that when I put it into Google Maps, it's actually almost identical in the time it takes to get to Healdsburg, which is about an hour and 20 minutes, and the time it takes to get to Napa. So it's definitely more of a perception than reality. Firstly, Healdsburg is just 10 minutes away from Santa Rosa Airport, which until recently had relatively limited flight options, but now Avalo is making Santa Rosa its hub, moving from Dallas. So it's starting to get more and more flights, which is just awesome. As well as being able to fly up and down the coast to Seattle in the north, and then San Diego in the south, you can fly to Palm Springs, Las Vegas, and you can also now fly to Denver, which is just great for connecting to other places in the US and beyond. This means that you can avoid the 2-hour drive to SFO, which is huge. I've got a friend who lives in Napa Valley in St. Helena, and even she's now vowed she'll only go somewhere if she can fly from Santa Rosa Airport. The other big plus that's coming to Healdsburg is the SMART train, which currently goes as far as the Santa Rosa Airport, but next year it'll go further north to Windsor, and then the year after that it will go all the way up to Healdsburg. Of course, most people will continue to drive to San Francisco, but to have an option to jump on a train in downtown Healdsburg, which connects all the way to the ferry in Larkspur to then get to San Francisco, I mean, it's a game changer. I mean, what's more, it will also give some great options for jumping on a train to go and have a few drinks and dinner in Santa Rosa or in downtown Petaluma, both of which have some really great eating options. Or as a keen cyclist, to be able to get the train south and do a long bike ride back, taking the amazing scenery that Sonoma County has to offer. I mean, it's very exciting. In fact, I did just that the other week, cycling to Larkspur and then getting the train back. If you are considering either Healdsburg or Napa, the chances are that you enjoy your food and wine. And of course, Napa has some amazing wineries on its doorstep. But it's too simplistic to say that wines produced in Napa are better than wines produced in Healdsburg. I mean, I feel whatever style of wine you enjoy, you'll be able to find it in either place. That being said, if it is a Napa winery, they won't have Napa County sourced coastal varieties, that's for sure. So you'll probably find a greater diversity of wines in Sonoma County. When it comes to food, then clearly in Napa Valleys there's the iconic French Laundry, but Napa Town itself does have some great restaurants. In the heart of downtown Napa, you'll find La Toque, where Chef Ken Frank has got a Michelin-starred restaurant, which really is excellent. In Napa, we have Morimoto Napa, which is the Iron Chef Morimoto, which, as I'm saying this, I mean, even having a TV celebrity chef restaurant just doesn't feel very Healdsburg in its own right. And then Compline Wine Bar and Restaurant is another good option where you can enjoy, really great food and wine pairings, and where they very much highlight local ingredients. And Napa also has the benefit of the river. It's got, riverfront restaurants, which there's some really great options there. But Healdsburg can more than hold its own when it comes to restaurants, and it's definitely better if we just compare the town of Napa with the town of Healdsburg. I mean, first up, we've got Single Thread Farms, the only 3-star Michelin restaurant in Healdsburg, and in fact, the only 3-star restaurant in Sonoma County. I mean, this is if you've not been there, it's an amazing experience, definitely a one of a kind, but it's definitely a celebration place to go. The other place is Dry Creek Kitchen, which is part of Hotel Healdsburg, which, to be honest, it was never really on my list after a disappointing experience a few years ago. But now it's got a new chef, Shane McAnally, who's totally transformed it. I mean, I love it. It's got a number of different set menus at different price points, so definitely worth checking out. My favorite restaurant is Guiso Latin Fusion, which offers, Latin cuisine with dishes like braised octopus and pupusas, which it really is an amazing place. It's El Salvadorian run and it's run by a close-knit families. It really is just the best. What about the big stores you need when you live somewhere? Well, in the town of Napa, residents and visitors have got convenient access to a variety of the big box stores and major retailers. For electronics and home appliances, there's a Best Buy. There's a Costco for bulk shopping, REI for outdoor enthusiasts, and for grocery there is a Whole Foods Market. And then there's also a Home Depot for DIY enthusiasts. I I mean, Healdsburg itself doesn't have any big box stores. I mean, I'd say that's a good thing, but it does have some really great options for DIY stores with an Ace Hardware store and also the new Healdsburg lumber store, which is really great. And we've also got Home Depot a few minutes away in Windsor. For grocery stores, it doesn't have a Whole Foods market, but it does have Big John's market. And then we've got Oliver's in Windsor, which personally I love. And when it comes to big box stores like REI, Costco, and Best Buy, then Santa Rosa's got you covered, which is only a 15-minute drive away. I have friends who live in St. Helena and they actually go to Santa Rosa for their shopping because it's actually quicker than them going all the way down Highway 29 to Napa itself. So what about outdoor activities? For hiking enthusiasts, the nearby Skyline Wilderness Park provides a network of scenic trails that wind through woodlands and offer amazing views of Napa Valley. And Alston Park is another great local favourite, which is in the northwest of the town, featuring, I think it's like 150 acres of trails for hiking, dog walking, and even horseback riding. If golf is your thing, then you'll find top-notch courses right on your doorstep near Napa town, including the Chardonnay Golf Club, which has got 27 holes set amongst the vineyards and rolling hills. And then you have the Napa Golf Course at Kennedy Park, which is known for its beautiful tree-lined fairways, and it's got really great greens. For hiking enthusiasts, the Healdsburg Ridge Open Space Preserve definitely provides some really great trails that wind through oak trees and woodlands and offer really great views of the Russian River and surrounding vineyards. There's also a new park under development at Saggio Hills just by Montage, which is in the northern foothills of Parkland Farms. This park, which has not been officially named yet, will cover 11 to 13 acres that will connect to the Healdsburg Ridge Open Space Preserve. And then Fitch Mountain Park and Open Space Preserve also feature trails that lead to the summit for some more great panoramic views of Healdsburg and the landscape around. And then we also have Lake Sonoma, which offers extensive hiking opportunities with trails that meander along the edge of the lake and through beautiful terrain. I mean, golfers also have some great options in Healdsburg, including the Healdsburg Golf Club at Taman Park, which is right off the downtown area, which boasts a fairly challenging Alistair Mackenzie 9-hole course with great views of the town and the countryside. And then a short drive away, you've got Windsor Golf Club, which offers an 18-hole championship course set amidst rolling hills, and it's really beautiful with the ocean down the side. And then for a super fancy golfing experience, you've got the Mayakama Golf and Country Club, which provides a luxurious setting with meticulously designed Jack Nicklaus course, ensuring a truly amazing golf experience. So real estate, what about real estate? Well, in Napa, the median price of a home is $910,000, which is 4% up over the past year. If we look at the number of homes that have sold over the course of the year, it's approximately 700 homes, of which 400 are less than $1 million, and then just 200 are between $1 million and $2 million. If we contrast that with Healdsburg, the median prices are $1.1 million, approximately 25% higher than Napa, with prices pretty much flat over the past year. However, the volume of homes for sale and the volumes of homes that are sold are a quarter of the number sold in Napa. Of the 160 sold over the past year, 60 sold for less than $1 million, and 55 selling between $1 million and $2 million. So that just gives you an idea of what you could expect and how much you could expect. It goes without saying that you will definitely have a lot more options if you're looking in Napa, particularly when it comes to condos, as there really aren't that many condo options in Healdsburg. One of the recent changes in Healdsburg is the recent introduction of the high-end luxury developments with the arrival of Mill District and Montage, both of which have been built in the past couple of years and which will be continued to be built. Originally, Napa was the pioneer of high-end resort living in places like Burge, Meadowwood, Solage, and so on. If that is what you're looking for, then Sonoma County now has its own version with these new developments within the Healdsburg city limits. The other big difference between Napa and Healdsburg when it comes to real estate is the options for doing a vacation rental. I mean, that's a rental for 29 days or less. I mean, I've got a number of clients who started out looking in Napa for a second home and then ended up buying in Sonoma County because of the much more relaxed rules when it comes to being able to operate a vacation rental. In Napa County, there's actually a strict limit on the number of vacation rental permits issued, which to all intents and purposes means that anyone buying a property today in Napa County won't be able to vacation rent it. While it's not possible to vacation rent something in Healdsburg city limits, there are a number of pockets around the city where it is possible to buy and operate a successful vacation rental. By the way, if you're thinking about moving to Sonoma County from out of the area, make sure to grab my Sonoma County relocation guide. I'll put a link in the description below. There you'll find everything you need to know before moving here. It includes a breakdown of the area, the things to do, the different neighborhoods, and way more, so make sure to check it out. But if you are considering Napa or Healdsburg, then Healdsburg's the perfect place if you're looking for a place where there's an incredible sense of community, where it's easy to meet people from all sorts of different backgrounds. I've got numerous clients who say that they met more people living in Healdsburg for a couple of years than they got to know living in San Francisco for a decade or more. I mean, that to me says a lot in its own right. I also feel like Healdsburg has done an amazing job of balancing the needs of people who live here and make the town work with the people who are attracted to the area because of what it offers. And also, if you appreciate the outdoors, then I feel Healdsburg has more to offer with its diversity of landscapes and weather, because it's so easy to get to places like Armstrong Woods in Guerneville with the big redwood trees, and to the coast and places such as Jenner, which feel so far removed from the vineyards of Healdsburg. I mean, both places are amazing to live in. Personally, I love Healdsburg because of the people. I do also really appreciate the food scene and that diversity of everything from outdoor lifestyle to access to different scenery, all on our doorstep. There's no doubt that you'll love living here. But if you made it to this point in the video, there's a good chance that you're thinking about buying your next home, or investing in this area, or buying a second home, or even selling your current one. We'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. Just email me at david@brewingtonhargreaves to get started. Our team's the #1 team in Sonoma County, helping over 70 families last year. So we'd love to be able to help you, whether you're looking for a second home or a vacation rental, or you're looking to sell your primary home. Just please do get in touch, and we can also give you updates on homes that are coming on the market and loads more besides. And hey, before you go, if you like this video, you'll love my video about everything you need to know before deciding to move to Sonoma County. In this video, we give you the A to Z of the different areas, what it's like living here, and way more. So make sure to check it out. See you in the next video.